Hey, welcome back to another episode of Salmon Run in a Nutshell, where we're going to go over some quick tips to help your workday go a little smoother. So, let's get to work. The Luna Blaster does decent enough damage. It has poor painting, but it should be just enough to handle a flipper flopper. The main purpose of this weapon is going to be clearing hordes. It doesn't have the greatest damage per second of the bunch, but it far outstrips them when it can hit multiple targets at once. If you hit even 3 targets, the DPS jumps up to 600, so focus on lesser salmonids and attack close by bosses. Timing on the L3 nozzle nose is critical. If you aren't familiar with this weapon, take a few minutes to practice. The timing of the shots is absolutely necessary to getting the most damage out of this shooter class weapon. I'm not even going to say much else because that's how important it is to be familiar with the shot timing. The only other note is that if you have this weapon on the Kohozuna wave, just go guns a-blazing on Kohozuna and only attack the lesser salmonids and other bosses when they're within your range. The Squeezer has 2 firing modes. You can tap fire and there's an automatic mode if you hold down the button. The tap firing will do more damage with greater range, but the drawback is going to be ink efficiency. The automatic mode does around 75% of the damage per second, but it uses half of the ink. So always use this for painting and small fries. But let's say you just threw a bomb and you need to start shooting at close range targets. Definitely consider using the automatic firing mode until you can recover your ink and get to a safer position. If you run out of ink, you'll do 0 damage and enemies will give you the old pew pew. The venerable Splat charger. The range is good, paint is decent. You'll mainly want to be focusing on distant bosses and lines of enemies. The charge shot will pierce through any enemy that it splats, so keep that in mind when you're trying to line up your shots. You'll have the easiest time dealing with steelheads, so make that a priority. Other than that, try to stay on high ground, although that's a little tricky on the spawning grounds. So watch your back and try to keep areas around you painted so that you can move to get a charge off. On the spawning grounds, keep the walls painted on normal time. Like, all the walls. Like, every wall. Seriously. If you have the Killer Whale special, use it on the fly fish on high tide that are out on the metal grate. This may seem like a waste, but I guarantee you'll waste more time trying to get to it, and then you'll have a hard time getting back. For low tide, keep the entire area around the egg basket inked. And I mean like all the way back to the platform behind you. There will be times that you're overrun and you need to create some distance between you and the enemies. And that's all for today. Revive your teammates as soon as possible. I hope your egg baskets runneth over. Good luck and good fishing.